Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a couple figures from the Planet Green Valley line.
Welcome to the party, pal!
All right, now let's look at the packaging. I can see there is a lot of glare on the packaging, so I will be moving these around to give you a better look at them. It is collector friendly packaging and it's in really good shape. It's very clean, it's very nice, and I think that's why we're getting even more glare than normal. It is essentially this Blue Wing group Zoe. It is the same girl, it is the same character, just in two different outfits. And I should say it's actually the same outfit with different colors. In this figure here, she's got blue pants, and here she has a more tan or brown pants. It is the same card back. It is collector friendly. Everything's the same. A little closer so you can read that bio there. I don't know much about the Planet Green Valley lore. It does have some websites there you can go to and a QR code if you're into that kind of thing, if you want to scan it. It does appear that this is the designer or the manufacturer. It is Kui Ying Studio. It's probably the designer. And it says it's from Huawei Hue email. I'm not sure what that means, copyright. But yeah, it's cool. It's a nice packaging. The image is a little bit cartoony. It is a rendering, a little bit anime, same exact everything. It looks like even the accessories are the same. So I bought these off AliExpress. They were about 44 bucks a piece. They had a third one, but it had sold out, so I grabbed the two that they had. Now, a lot of people online have said that this is the number one, the premier 1/18 scale figures, the best in the world. So that's why I've got them to compare them to see if they're on the level of the Joy Toy and the Acid Rain. But at that price point, I think they're even more if you find them on Cool Toys or Locker Toys. They're in the 60s or 70s, I believe. So this was a fairly good deal, if you can say that. They're still quite expensive. They're right up there with the Star Wars Vintage Collection deluxe figures. Like I said, Joy Toy, Acid Rain. So we'll see. A lot of accessories in there, which is nice. It is collector friendly packaging, so you can put the figure back in there when you're done. It does have the feel, the packaging and how it looks of a premier deluxe type figure, much like the War of Order figure that we looked at. Hopefully the articulation and the sculpt and the paint holds up, and we'll check that out next. But overall, it's nice packaging. It's nothing too exciting. It's a little bit, to be honest, it's a little bit plain. The colors, palette, pattern, it's a little dull, but it's still nice. It's quite nice. It's a large bubble. You can see here there are some accessories in a baggie behind the figure. And I think it does allow for a lot of customization, which is nice. All right, so that's the packaging. I don't want to get too focused on that. Let's see what the figure's all about. All right, so here is Zoe out of packaging, and they are, I can say, I got all the accessories out for her, the one at the blue pants, but I did not get them out for her, for the brown pants version. They are exactly the same. Paint, every item is the same. The only difference is the color of their pants, really. Their paint applications, I should say. I did heat this one up. I did not heat this one up, so I won't be moving her around too much. But I will say I really only heated up her wrists. I found her hinged wrists to be locked up, and the wrist is such a small joint. I was afraid I would break it, so I did heat up her wrists, and they still don't move that easy even after being heated up. Everything else though is fine. I didn't heat up the rest of her, and she seems to be in good order. But the wrists, there it goes, that one just kind of turned, are not quite as easy to move, even after being heated up. Maybe they just need to be played with a little bit and articulated a little bit in order to loosen her up. Guys, I can say, I've only had her out a few minutes. She is really good. I understand now why people think these are the best. She is right up there with some of the best, Acid Rain and Joy Toy figures that I have seen. I would say my only criticism possibly is her complexion is very light. It is almost so light that it's a little bit plasticky, especially around her neck and cleavage area. And you can even see here on her bare arm. But I know that there are many people with, this complexion. And so it's not that far off. I don't think I have a figure, though, with this light of a complexion. But she is quite attractive. You can see her profile is great. Her eyes are perfectly straight. Everything. She's great. I can see it. She's got all the premium articulation. So let's go over that really quick. She does have a double ball hinged head neck. She does have articulation in her ponytail. You can get that to spin around. Ball hinged shoulders, which are very nice. Go up all the way. Single hinged elbow. As I mentioned before, she does have hinged wrists. Her left hand, her left, my right, hinges in and out. Her right, my left, is an up and down. She does have an abdomen crunch. It's at the top, I should say, which you get a lot out of. And instead of being a swivel waist, she has another ball joint down there. So it does not spin. You only get the twist at the top, but the bottom one does crunch as well. So you can get quite a bit of a lean back and a lean forward. So she's got, two ball joints in there, one below the navel and one above the navel. She's got ball hinged hips, get a good split, thigh swivel, double hinged knees, and she has the rocker ankle or the pivot ankle. Great sculpt, great paint, great articulation. She is what they said she was. She really is. You can see all the detail, the sculpt there, and the boots, the tread. She does have peg holes. All the folding and creases of the clothes, they're all shaded in really well. Pockets on the pants. She does have a hole in her back for her backpack. The sculpting of her hair. Like I said, her complexion is just very light, but I know that there are some people with a very light complexion. Very, very nice figure, guys. Very nice. I see what everyone had kind of, who's talked about this. I see what it is now, and it's for real. It really is. She is really good, and I don't get besides those wrists, she doesn't feel, fragile like the War of Order figure did, or some Joy Toys. The females from the Cult of San Reja, their wrists are also quite thin, and the Haya Toys ones also feel a bit more fragile. She doesn't. She feels she's got the best of both worlds. She's a poser and a player, I think. It's just those wrists, but I can, just as this video, as you could saw when I started it, just moving the wrist, now that she's warmed up there, it is already getting better, and I feel like that issue I had once she was warmed up is kind of gone away. Now I think because she is the same figure, you can see she's got different hair color here, and different pant color, but pretty much everything else is the same. I guess it would be, you know, what do you prefer? Is this her desert outfit? This is her urban combat outfit. I'm not quite sure. It's funny how the sculpt, it's so well done that the different paint, it really brings it out in different ways on the different figures. The shading you can see on here and in here. Very nice. Very nice. I'm not sure. I think I do like this one a little bit better. I like the two-tone better than the monotone of the uniform, but it's nice. Now, I think what's really setting this apart, because you've got the trifecta of paint, sculpt, and articulation, all these accessories, guys. I did split them up. That the baggie that had accessories are these four here. So they give you an extra set of web gear. It looks like it clips right there into the back. An extra helmet. See if I can show you that a little bit closer, a little bit better. And two different scarves. These were, like I said, in the bag, but she already had one scarf, like the one she's pictured with here, in the blister, in the bubble. Now, I guess, again, if I'm really trying hard to criticize this figure, and my first criticism was her complexion. The other one would be that there's only two weapons. But man, it is a well done weapon, man. I mean, it's really painted well. It's really sculpted well. Excellent looking machine gun. The pistol is a solid black, but she doesn't have anything else weapon wise. No knives, no swords. One pistol, one rifle, and that's it weapon wise. But all this other stuff, you've got a second vest or web gear, all the detail, the paint in that vest looks great. It is the vest that she's wearing in the picture. She's got a cool looking backpack. Looks like there's a radio or some kind of a walkie-talkie or something on there. All the details, the straps and the buckles. I did notice this on the back on the peg, and you wouldn't see this, you know, when it's on, but there is some paint splatter. Let me see if I can show that to you. I think you can see that on the peg itself. Not a big deal though, you know, no one would see that. It's better that it's there than anywhere else, but that's pretty nice. Here's a belt that she came with. Again, the other figure has the same exact stuff, painted exactly the same. There is no variation in the gear. Same weapons, everything. She comes with this extra head that allows you to use the helmets without the ponytail. So, and it's well done. It's well painted as well. See if I can kind of show you both together. Do you think it is the same face? And I think this version, the lips are a little lighter, just a little bit. What else do we have here? We've got shoulder pads. We've got, let's see if I can, these are very small. See if I can show them to you on camera here. There we go. Just got shoulder pads, knee pads, and I may have this backwards. I believe those are the knee pads, or shin guards even, and then some packs that go on her thighs. This one has the holster for the pistol, so she can wear the pistol, which is nice. These are really well done too, again with all the pouches. There's a big buckle, one of those plastic buckles right there on the front. Very nice. And this helmet here. This helmet's really cool too. I definitely like this helmet more than this one. This seems very modern, what the soldiers use now. This looks very futuristic. And this is a great figure in that sense that she could be in, whoops, I'm not even on camera, sorry about that. She could be in your sci-fi stuff, and she could be in your, you know, your G.I. Joe, your modern figure stuff. Very cool. Very cool helmet. It's got like a heads-up display in there. Overall, I have to say this is a really good figure. I can't find any flaws in it. Oh, I did notice on this version, I should notice this though, or you know, say this. On the back of her elbows here, there is a little paint bleed. On the back of this version, you can see, I think you can see it right there on the elbows. There is a little bit of paint bleed onto her skin. But that's only on this one, and it's not on this one. Oh, a little teeny bit right there. So small you can't really see it. It's very noticeable on this one though. You can see it there on the camera. But that's really the only thing I noticed. Everything else I'm kind of trying, you know, to, I don't want to give it, I want to be honest, you know, and say, you know, it's not, you know, there's always a little bit something, but they're so minor. I definitely think she was worth what I paid. Now, $60, $70, like some of them are sold on, you know, some of the websites. Man, that's a hard sell. At this scale, that cost is a lot. And not just the scale, but this you know, one figure this size. You know, if it was a mech at our scale, you know, 70, 80 bucks. Yeah, I see that, you know, Joy Toy all the time. But I definitely think at 40, I think I paid 42 or 44. Definitely think this was worth it. This is on the level of the Acid Rain and Joy Toy stuff, some of the best figures they have. Let's do a quick size comparison before we wrap this up. But overall, she is a wonderful figure. All right, so let's do that size comparison. But before we do, I did want to show you Zoe fairly geared up. She does have 2 trigger finger hands. I tried to match her to her photo here, or her rendering here on the packaging. I could not figure out how to get her thigh holsters and packs on. I wasn't sure if you're supposed to take her apart at the ankle or the thigh cut or the hip. I don't want to break her. I'll probably have to watch a video myself that someone else has done that has done that. I didn't want to take the chance to break her, but I would like to have her geared up just like the picture here. So let's put that one off to the side, since this is a quick size comparison. Let's start with the figure that I think is most comparable to her, and that is Acid Rain by Toys Alliance. This is the Mariah figure that I did a video on. If I do a comparison here, a size comparison, and it's a video or a figure that I've done a video on, I'll try to link it here as I go. But this is Mariah, right about the same size. Mariah is fully geared out, so she looks a bit bulkier. And Acid Rain figures tend to be a little bit bigger, true 118, but so is this Zoe, and I think they look great together. Here is the Pan Oceania female number 2 that I did a video on, and she's a little bit shorter than these two. This is a great figure too. I love the colors, but you can see she's a little bit shorter than these two here. Here is a Judge Hershey from Hiya Toys, and Judge Hershey's a bit taller than all these ladies, but a very good figure. Here is the Vintage Collection female Tusken Raider, and she is a 375 figure, and you can tell because she is quite short. Whoops. There she is. Another very good figure. Here is the Epic Heroes Rogue figure, And she is a 375 figure as well. And you can see there that she is same size as the Tuscan, but not the other ladies. But not bad, not bad. And then here is a Marauders Task Force female that I did of my wife that I'm still working on. I just added this necklace from one of the Cult of Sanreja girls. So I still kind of customize her, modify her out. And I really do like the Marauders Task Force figures. The female buck is a very good figure. And she is right in line with these 4-inch figures, so you can see there. So I think they all scale pretty well, you know, minus these two, which are pretty small. But I think you could get away with it in certain angles and in certain circumstance. But definitely comparable with all of these. I do think that all of these figures are actually pretty good, but the Rogue is more of a kid figure, less articulation, price point's completely different. But they're all pretty good figures, but I think, you know, she is just as good as these Joy Toy and Acid Rain figures, and she's not quite as fragile. I don't feel her wrists once she was heated up, and her shoulders and elbows and things, as the Haya figures. So I know some people think Haya is very, you know, they're fragile, but she's not quite as fragile, and she has more points of articulation with the thigh cuts, and you get more out of her shoulders than the Hershey here with all that extra armor. The Pan-Oceania female, she is a little bit shorter than the other girls, although, you know, in the same scale of 118, Joy Toy is a 118, not a 375 scale. But overall, I think she is right up there at the top, just like everyone has said. So I can recommend her. I think it's just a matter of, you know, what you're willing to spend. I think at 44 or 42, what I got her for, I think that's a good, you know, price considering, you know, what the Acid Rain and Joy Toy stuff goes for. But overall, I think she's a pickup. She is as good as they've said. And I like her a lot. I'm really glad I have her, and I will be interested to try to pick up more figures from this line. I know they've got at least 2 more that I know of. One is like a male robot kind of head, a male body with like a robot head, and then there was a third female. It might even be Zoe in a different uniform or something. But very good figures, guys. This is a pickup if you can find it. So I'm going to just take a few photos here on the way out. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you next time.